Moonshots and Moneymakers is a newer program you've created, which has an interesting focus. So tell us about that one.
So, one of the great things about spending a lot of time with one small group of people, these business owners, is you start to see the patterns. And the patterns became clear that the whole world was saying, add tech to your business. I mean, 10 years ago, it was, put your business in the cloud and get a CRM system and all this kind of stuff. But over the years, it's been, techify your business one way or another. And of course, there's a whole Silicon Valley world dedicated to that very thing. What I saw were that a lot of smaller businesses, I'll call them, $25 million businesses that were really doing well, that had a niche, they were doing their thing, usually a B2B business, were figuring out how to bring tech into their business. And all of a sudden, those $25 million businesses were doing a lot more revenue, and they were also worth a lot more money to a buyer because they had sort of unlimited potential at that point. So imagine you've got a $10 million business that has a $1 million profit every year. Pretty simple, right? A 10% EBITDA. And someone comes along and says, oh, this business is probably worth 7 times EBITDA, so I'll pay you $7 million for your $10 million business. That's a pretty normal thing I just said, if somebody would really buy it. What we're going to do in Moonshots Moneymakers is show them how that business that's really valued at $7 million can be valued at $100 million if they just use this deconstructed roadmap. There's a whole very well-developed world, we'll call it Silicon Valley for lack of a better way of describing it, that takes really smart money, combines it with really smart people, and lets them start something from scratch. We've got minimally viable products, we've got alphas and betas. But a moneymaker is a company that's been around for a long time and figured out its market, but it hasn't really injected tech into its business yet. And the real reason to inject tech is not tech for tech's sake. It's that almost every techification of a business yields a higher gross margin in that business, which is like the lifeblood of every business is high gross margins, and increases the size of the audience. And so really what every business owner has to do, $10 million, $25 million business, is figure out how to transition their product or service so that they have higher gross margins and a bigger audience, period. But you're going to find that it's almost always tech that helps you do that. So we created this conference called Moonshots and Moneymakers with the Oxford arm of the innovation group at Oxford to basically start helping these 10, 25, $50 million businesses see how they can go from being a moneymaker, a solid business with a great reputation and profit, and they could transform their businesses into moonshots, businesses that would be valued at many, many multiples of its current valuation because they had figured out how to either increase their gross margins or increase the size of their audience or both.